Oh, welcome back to my channel. It's Monday 19th of June. I'm at the allotment this evening. Just have a quick look around the greenhouse here. These cucumbers are doing really well. I don't know if you can see that one in there. It's really started growing. The tomato plants have woken up. I've had to tie them up, a couple of twists of string on each one this evening. I've just been having a go around for about 3/4 of an hour with that strimmer. That strimmer. Although I've done more on my neighbour's part than mine, in all honesty, because it's a shared gate and a shared path. The path was completely overgrown, so every time I walked through it I was catching seeds and bringing them in, so I've trimmed up there, which is the sort of pathway. Just had a quick once over around some of this. Started getting into all this overgrowth. I've actually run out of fuel now. I've got some petrol, but I've run out of 2-stroke, so I've got a bottle at home I can bring. I've started cutting my way into that, cutting along the front here. Revealed rather a lot of ripe raspberries waiting to be picked, so next time I'm down here, probably Wednesday, I'll be bringing a tub and harvesting some of these raspberries. There's quite a few in there, and there's some golden raspberries in there if I remember right as well. But everything's just got massively out of hand. Huge gooseberries lurking down here. These are going to be fantastic when they're ripe. The pigeons don't get them all. Bushes are crawling with them. Gooseberries, that is, not pigeons. The potatoes are doing well. Those are good too. We had a lot of, I don't know how much was round here, but certainly I live about 15 miles away, well it's about 12 miles from the allotment, and had a lot of rain yesterday at where I live, but the ground, there's water collected in the puddles on the sheets, but I'm not certain how much actually came down. The ground doesn't seem massively wet, so what I'm going to do, I think from now on, I'll combine all the video clips from sort of Monday, Wednesday and my Friday visits into one video at the end of the week. So 6:15 I'm going to be wrapping up now, start heading home. So hopefully the motorway will have, all the chaos on the motorway will have died down. So doing a bit, but get there in the end. Thanks for watching. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm at my allotment. It's Wednesday evening. Just starting up in the greenhouse here. We've had some heavy rain last couple of nights, and it looks like some of the tomatoes are just been watered because the roof's still missing. I've got a couple in the cucumber here that need a touch of water, so I'll do that shortly. Got a lovely cucumber forming down there. I think I'll probably pick that one on Friday. A couple of them actually. Very wet outside. Pools of water gathered on these sheets. The ground's pretty soggy. I brought a tub of kitchen waste down and added that to my compost. I tend to make the arthritis and that, standing any length of time in the kitchen can be quite painful, so I tend to just make a giant pan of stew at the beginning of the week and portion it out, and then I get all my evening meals and a few lunches out of it. Any left over I sort of put it in a bag and freeze it. And you might think same thing every night, but you know, once you portioned it out, you can add curry to some, you can re-flavour, adjust the flavour with, you know, a bit of chopped apple or some fruit, or occasionally just buy a bit of roll of like ready rolled pastry and make a pie or something, put a crust on a bit. So it just means I'm only standing sort of once, and once it's cooked, leave it a little bit crunchy, and then each reheat just finishes it off slightly. I was going to bring a bowl for these raspberries, I forgot. So one thing I do have to do tonight, the lock on my shed door has been acting up, so I've got a replacement lock, so I shall do that. In the height of holiday season, these planes are like every couple of minutes. You kind of get used to it in the end, I guess. Had a bit of a growth spurt as well on some of these tomatoes, so I need to tie them up, the next bit up the cane a little bit. So I'll get these few jobs done, and I'll bring you back in a bit before I go. Right, I've tied up a few plants that needed just a bit more support higher up. Gotta be careful as I'm growing that from a side shoot. I lost the tip and I keep reaching to snip that out, but it's the growing tip now. Those were already watered. I've watered these ones, watered these, and I still desperately need to get that corn planted. I couldn't do my shed door. It turns out the lock I've got's the wrong one, so I don't know if that's my mistake or if the shop sent me the wrong one. I'll have to double check when I get home. It's that bottom lock under the handle, so I shall look at that. Either way, I won't be able to send it back because I had to get the key extended to fit through, as the lock's quite deep behind, so it'll end up as a spare no matter what, or used somewhere else. So I'm getting attacked now by horseflies, so I'm going to call it a night and head home. Say everything's a bit too wet to try and do much anyway. Grab my gear, and even a big pool formed on there. Don't want all that ash getting wet that's still in there. I need to scoop all that out, get it bagged. So it's I don't know where we stand with thunderstorms at the minute. We had a colossal storm earlier today. Hopefully I think the weather's set to be good over the weekend, so try and get a bit further at home. I'll be in my home garden tomorrow night, so I'll add to the video I've been creating for that. I think what I'm going to do now, rather than make individual videos each visit, I'll just collate each week's videos for both the allotment and my home progress, and just make one video for each week. It's probably the easiest way of doing it. Hopefully I'll try and start one or two other bits of projects I've had lying around, start adding to the, I don't know if you'd call it a portfolio, the menu, the playlists. I'm also should be going fishing again this Sunday, so that's proved to be quite a popular video, that fishing one. Don't know what my allotment neighbour's doing here, been having a trample or something. I expected a note asking why I'd covered everything in shredding, seeing as though I trimmed the pathway bit, but nothing's come back to me. So right, I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for watching so far. I'll be adding to this one on Friday anyway when I'm back here. Cheers. Again, it's now Friday, a couple of days later since I last recorded anything. I think I said at the time I'm going to combine the recordings throughout the week for just sort of one video at the end of the week. I think that's the easiest way to proceed. I've just done a little bit of watering in the greenhouse. A couple of them had used all the water, There's a couple of tomatoes still needing to be tied off, or they've grown a bit. Cucumber's grown a bit, that needs tying off. I've actually just harvested the first cucumber, and it looks like there's a couple more, won't be far behind it down there, so I think I'm going to be on like cucumber and tuna for my lunch for the next few weeks. Hopefully have some tomatoes to join them soon as well. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do today. I brought some 2-stroke oil with me, so I can fire the strimmer up. It's looking a bit overcast. I'm not sure if there's a bit of rain due or anything. I've also brought some loppers with me. This tree, well, it's split. It's a trunk that's split. I thought it was dead, but it's managed to grow a load of branches, so I'm going to lop some of these off because the sun sets sort of more or less in that direction, so it's costing the greenhouse late afternoon or afternoon and late early evening light. So I'll give them a chop and probably put them in the incinerator ready to, just so they dry out, ready for burning. I've not had any comments from my neighbour, so he's obviously not bothered that I trimmed the path bit up there, or if he is, he's waiting to speak to me. So I shall bring you back in a bit when I decide what I'm doing. That should stay nice and dry under there, and or at least not get wet and start drying out, like I say, a couple of weeks, and that'll be a blaze. I did actually scrape a load of the ash out of the bottom of there and filled an old chicken manure bucket, and then I've sprinkled some on the top of here. I realise I still need to dig over that, but at least if the ash is there, it'll get sort of dug in as I dig over and weed that bit out. So next job, I think I'll tie off the tomatoes in the greenhouse. I shall bring you back shortly. Well, it's I think it's time to call it a day. I'm sat inside my leaky greenhouse, sheltering. It's hammering it down outside. So that rain did turn up in the end. I did tie off the tomatoes, or the ones that still needed a bit of tying off. You can see the likes of these. This is the Tigerella, which is like a stripy tomato. They're obviously taking some colour and stuff now, but they should get a bit bigger than that yet. They're sort of, as I recall, they're larger than, or golf ball or larger kind of size. I'm looking forward to see how this is that golden sweet. Looks like a yellow plum, but it didn't look like a, I suppose it looks a bit like a plum or a pear-shaped one when you look at the picture. So they're being interesting. I just hope the flavour lives up. I have a few sort of favourite tomatoes that I try and grow each year, and then I'll maybe buy one or two either seeds or new varieties I've not tried before to see if any are worth adding onto the sort of favourite list. Eventually I'll probably get down to like half a dozen that I'll just grow, and that's it. Probably mainly cherry tomatoes, because they will sweat down into sauces and stuff as well, and you can get hundreds and hundreds on a truss on some varieties. So right, I think I'll wrap this one up for this week. I'll be back at my allotment on Monday, or in fact probably Tuesday next week. I'm off work on Monday, so I won't be calling, but I am fishing on Sunday, so I'll take you with me, or those of you who are interested in fishing. I hope you'll watch that video, assuming I'm able to make one and weather permitting, etc. Otherwise I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Cheers now. Bye.